Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo, and you've tuned in to another live edition of me, Chris Pirillo. Some tech advice for you. I have lately been going early, at least live streaming these videos early onto YouTube, and after this broadcast, we're going to move to youtube.com/LockerGnome for today's TLDR, the LockerGnome Daily Report. After that, I'll be posting some entrepreneurial advice live as well on the Creator Advocate YouTube channel. Today, it's going to be a mix of podcasting and YouTubing. Can I say YouTubing? Can I use that as a word? Well, anyway, that's what's on the stage for the remainder of the day. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite topics, toys. I know you're interested in tech, so I thought, why not blend the two together and talk about the top tech toy of 2017. Good idea, right? Tech toy? I'm not talking about, the average gadget that just sits there looking like it's just a gadget that looks like every other gadget out there. I'm talking about something that you can have fun with, something that technology makes possible. Now, my particular choice is probably not your particular choice. In fact, it may not have been on your radar to begin with, not to be confused with Star Wars radar, my Star Wars fan channel / account. We got 48,000 followers on Twitter. I know there are at least 48,000 of you out there who are like me, Star Wars geeks. So, technology helps make certain things possible, like fun toys. Now, the tech toys I had growing up would have been the Speak and Math. I had a Speak and Math, not a Speak and Spell. My brother Adam had a Speak and Spell. My brother Ben had the Speak and Read. I was Speak and Math. It didn't really help any, though, because I never really figured out math. Math is not my strong suit. Still, if I found a working Speak and Math, I may pick it up for old time's sake. There was also some technology that I wasn't able to get, though it was on my wish list as a kid. There was one called the PXL 2000, and I think that was the name of it. You could record video and audio on cassette tapes. So it was a camcorder for cassette tapes. I thought it was the neatest thing. Then again, I thought tape recorders were amazing things. I remember working very hard to do like some kind of magazine drive to be able to win a tape recorder so that I could record the sound of my voice and play it back ad infinitum. I was podcasting before that was even a possibility. I did win, by the way. I did get my tape recorder. There was also, I think it was an animator, an Etch-a-Sketch animator that I did not get as a kid, but you could basically draw pixel art like you could on an Etch-a-Sketch, but it was all digital. And I know I'm going down memory lane here, but bear with me. I'm building up to something. These are my favorite tech toys of the past. I ended up getting, I think it was, again, the Etch-a-Sketch animator at a local toy show in recent years, and I played with it once. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't get this. Or if I did get it as a kid, I probably would have forgotten it pretty quickly because, man, it was painful. Fun, but not really great. A lot of the tech toys we had when I was growing up were not outstanding. I mean, they existed, certainly, but amazing, maybe, to a kid growing up in the 80s. They were fantastic because we didn't really have much of an alternative, at least as far as technology choices were concerned, when they blended with interactivity and specifically in having fun with technology in the toy realm. So my top choice for a tech toy for this year is, I'm turning here to make sure everything is running okay. Okay, chat's working. Something that was sent to me, and I'm very grateful because I wouldn't have picked it up otherwise. Believe it or not, you've got to check this out. You will love it, and if you don't love it, someone in your family will. Star Wars Jedi Challenges. So this is pretty cool. I'm going to try to demonstrate it, or at least show you how to get it set up here in just a moment. It's going to be impossible to demonstrate because this is an AR system, augmented reality, which I've been talking about since 2009. My inner child is freaking out, but of course I'm an adult now. But I would have loved something like this as a kid. Very, very excited. At first I was kind of like, oh, what? I don't know, is this really going to be for me? Is it VR? Is it AR? What is it? And then I tried it. And I did not want to put it down. It's a very compelling experience. I was really surprised because sometimes when they mix my fandom, Star Wars, with technology, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always translate, and it's kind of difficult to nail that entire the entire I guess proposition. Yeah, we get the idea. You can hold on to this lightsaber, your actual hilt, and get the virtual blade. But how well does it work in practice? And I'm here to tell you, after having played with it in at least 2 rooms, it is absolutely worth my recommendation. Not just because Star Wars, but specifically because it is fun. I think it's going to be fun for you as an adult, or potentially as a kid, if you are a kid. So I'm just going to go ahead and set it back there. Hopefully y'all don't mind. Is it blocking anybody? Well, I guess you really don't need to see it back there, do you? Okay, well, I'll just take the box and move it off to the side to show you we have the headgear. Are you looking at my headgear? And the headgear can be accommodated on a variety of heads. And this is something that I found to be very comfortable in wearing it, even with glasses on. I thought that was outstanding. But first I'm going to show I already showed you the lightsaber hilt and this kind of a sensor marker that sits on the floor. Depending on the level, I'd imagine, you could choose between the blue glowing orb or the magenta glowing orb. And this is basically your center marker, such that, you know, the lightsaber hilt kind of, when you turn it this way, it knows which direction you're swinging it. You just simply place this on the floor and get it out of your way. Then you have probably the most challenging part of Jedi challenges, accommodating your smartphone. So it'll work with iOS or Android. I happen to load this on my iPhone 8 Plus. There's the Jedi Challenges app, and it walks you through. In fact, it's reminding me, oh, it's downloading updates right now. Okay, well, that's new as of 10 minutes ago. I've got my lightsaber on. Download complete. That was a pretty quick download. Close. So now it says, before I had a check mark, or an X, saying that the lightsaber was off. Now it's on. I could go through and I can calibrate. I can set the beacon down cable, etc., etc. But I'm not going to actually go through that because you won't be able to see and we won't be able to have as much fun. I'm simply going to show you how tricky it was to get everything in there. Okay, so now, well, actually, that was exceedingly simple. But then you basically have a view in this part of the component, such that it's what I have it on, but I can't. This is one of the problems I ran into. I couldn't necessarily. Okay, enable Bluetooth. Oh, this is where it's not fun. Because you have to set it up perfectly in that viewer. If I see, but Bluetooth is on. That's what I'm saying. This is on. That's on. This is on. Everything's on. I don't know what's going on. On. All right. Well, this is not what I was expecting. Slip. Yeah, I did that. It. Hang on. It's glowing. Okay, now it's glowing white. Is that going to work for you? Wait. Hang on. The software is horrible. Now, see, the lightsaber's off again. Okay, so I think you get the idea. You have to set it in the right direction. We'll do it that way. Click it in. I'm show you kind of how you would do it at home. It comes with a variety of cables to accommodate how your phone connects, USB-C, Lightning, or micro USB. And then we'll slide it in like this. No. Like this. It's not exactly the most fun to set up. But trust me. I mean, the payoff is there. You know, if you can look past the variety of shortcomings. And trust me, there are a lot of shortcomings. Okay. So then we've got it in there. And then we place the headgear on. And then you effectively navigate, you know, like this. Right? And then you play. I'm not actually going to play, though, because this is just me just showing you kind of how the components go together. And then, of course, you have to make sure everything's charged. You've got to make sure your headgear's charged. You got to make sure that your sensor component is charged. You got to make sure your lightsaber hilt is charged. But after you get everything running, I think you're going to enjoy it, despite the massive problems with the software. Software is a necessary evil, I have to say. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that thumbnail. Right here in the middle of the live video. Can you believe that? That's pretty wild. So The only other thing I was going to mention about this particular imperfect setup and how I've done it here, after I was playing it, I asked my daughter Jedi if she wanted to play it as well. And by the way, there's some nav buttons here on the side. I kind of wish the headgear was more Star Wars-y. Like, this is kind of, on its own, really kind of lame. Like, there's nothing Star Wars branded about this particular gear. I mean, I like the hilt. This is kind of neat. I almost wish they did this as a holocron, though, not as a sphere. Like, it looks like a little Epcot Center. If this was done as a holocron, it would have been perfect. But they didn't do it that way. The thing that I was going to mention, though, is that I basically asked Jedi, because she wanted to play too, because she saw me doing this and she could hear me fighting the battle droids and everything, and she's like, I want to try it. This 3-year-old girl, right? So I effectively put the gear on her head, and she freaked out. She's like, because she thought the battle droids were right there. That's how immersive it was for a 3-year-old. She thought the battle droids were right there. Couldn't do it. And then she kind of built up enough courage. She's like, I want to try it again. So I did it again. She was like, ah! And she was looking around. She's like, I just saw them right there. If I could have captured that moment on film, I'm telling you, that absolutely would have sold you on this particular product. So what's nice about this is that it is usable, it is playable. There seems to be a lot of gameplay involved within the app, different levels, different games that you can play. In fact, on the side of the box, I'll show you here. It explains you could do the lightsaber battles, which I thought was fun, strategic combat, or holo chess. I never got into Jejeric, didn't go that deeply into it, or the strategic combat, but I had a ton of fun with the lightsaber battles. Edlex asks, have you seen the First Order Stormtrooper robot? I have. It does look fascinating. Not in my budget. I tend not to get a lot of the tech Star Wars stuff. If only because I'm not sure how well it's going to hold value over time. I'd be more inclined to try the First Order Stormtrooper robot, if only because it looks nice at a distance, but not having any experience with it, I'd be hesitant to try it. I know, you're thinking, well, Chris, it's Star Wars. What's not to like? Again, I don't know how well it's going to work. I've tried a great many product over the years that unfortunately does not live up to its promise. This does, because it was immersive. Assuming that the software support is around indefinitely, you'd be good to go. And I think, more than anything, at least I feel like the lightsaber could come in handy, so to speak. I mean, it's another lightsaber hilt that looks wonderful. It's kind of got this chrome finish there and a rubber texture here at the base. You got your belt clip so you can walk around with it. It looks nice. And then, of course, it glows white or blue or various colors up here. I think white and blue would be the only choices for this particular lightsaber, though. Rey's lightsaber. Not Luke's anymore. It's Rey's. I'm going to hand it over to you. Do you want it? I don't think so. So they could have done a lot more to make this, I guess, more permanent in terms of value. Like I said, they could have made this a holocron. They could have made this a lot more Star Warsy. Apart from it kind of looking futuristic, but not immersed. Like, that's obviously this instead of that. That would have been neat. I think they could have made the particular process a lot less cumbersome in terms of getting your phone in there and the software working just right and all that. Let me see here. I'm gonna pull it out again. Do I have to pull it out? There's a pull tab that you can use to pull out your slide your phone out of. But like I said, the playability is definitely there as far as the electronic is concerned. This, if I'm wearing this and let's say we're battling, right? We're able to play independent of the technology. This doesn't look Star Warsy. I mean, I'm wearing obviously a visor, right? But it's not obvious that it belongs in the Star Wars galaxy. I would have appreciated that. That would have been a nice little touch to add to that. Right? It's pretty cool. You could use this without using the smartphone app, which of course could improve over time. Don't get me wrong. Someone asked, "You're not on about the Atari, lol." What? I talked about that last week. Come on, man, catch up. What's going on? I can only do one video a day in each one of these channels. I can't do it all the time. I already talked about that. That's like old news. Come on. I know. It's funny. Some people subscribe and then don't watch every video that I do. It's actually kind of hilarious. Someone asks, how do you like that game, Chris? Sorry if you've already answered the question. I have already answered the question. You can rewind this live video, or of course, go back and, watch the video after it was live. That's pretty much everything I had to say about this particular topic. Everyone else is going to have a completely different choice. I didn't see any other top tech choices. Maybe you guys aren't thinking about technology too much. Is that the case? You want nothing to do with technology right now? Is that really? Huh, I thought you would. So that's my choice. Yours is different. I'd like to hear what you think. I'd like to hear if you thought this was something interesting for you. I think that this is going to possibly find its way to another family, though. I'm not gonna mention anything right now. There's spoilers. But I know it would be very, very. As much as I'm happy with it, I think another family that I know would be even happier. A family with a lot of kids that happen to like Star Wars. So I don't hold on to everything, even when it comes to Star Wars stuff. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I do appreciate that particular level of support. Any motion sickness or eye strain after continuous use? Not that I know of. Not that I saw. Not that I experienced, and you know me when it comes to VR, it was more AR than VR. It wasn't VR at all. I could still see what was going on in the world behind the battle droids or Darth Maul or any of the characters that I was fighting. It was very compelling, very immersive, very much a lot of fun, something that I would like to hold on to indefinitely. But like I said, I think another family that I happen to know of would appreciate this even more. So I am going to move on now to the Locker Gnome Daily Report, TLDR for short, in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/LockerGnome. Hopefully you're getting these daily roundup posts that we're making on YouTube now in the community. If you want to join Discord chat, you're more than welcome to. Head over to either patreon.com/Chris Pirillo or twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Become a patron, become a sub. Check out the links in the video description, including a link to where you're going to be able to get one of these. We'll find the link for you. Even if a link doesn't exist, we'll make it so. Wait, I crossed the streams, right? I confused the fandoms. I apologize for that. But I'm not going to apologize for this video. That would be a little egregious. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.